Art levels rarely draw my attention. Too often do the background pieces clash with the foreground details and structures, so it was a really pleasant surprise to see a well executed art level based on my favourite game of all time. Mr. Finland did an excellent job at nailing the Hollow Knight art style. Hallownest is a very loyal recreation of the environments and assets seen in game, everything from the colours used, the textures and platforms, and the creatures and obstacles featured. This is apparent from the level's opening being a nice recreation of the Hollow Knight title screen, which is complete with particles. The following sections stay true to the areas they're based on, which include the mineshafts and pink gems of the Crystal Peaks, the sunny, cloudy expanse of the Dream Realm, and the dark, atmospheric depths of the Abyss. Mr. Finland was able to capture the movements and animations really effectively as well. The crystal layers and conveyor belts, dream world platforms, shadow crawlers and void siblings are all wonderfully animated and help bring much needed life to a level that would otherwise be very static. Of course, the main highlight of this level is the boss fight with the Radiance, and this entire section showcases everything that I explained prior wonderfully. The Radiance in this level has just as much life as a Hollow Knight counterpart. Her teleports are effectively recreated with the use of bright glowy flashes, and this fluttering wing animation is such a nice addition to see. The Radiance's attacks steal the show in this part. All of her attacks are featured in some way: beams of light, swords, homing balls of light, and even the full screen wall of death, all of which are recreated really well. The attack patterns and lack of visual cues mirrors the hectic feel of the fight against the Radiance in Hollow Knight, which I feel is this level's greatest accomplishment. The only thing this part is missing is a little more background decoration. The cloud line and pillars are good, but this section is missing some dream particles and platforms when compared to the Hollow Knight fight, and I feel not including them was just a missed opportunity. The gameplay in this level isn't the easiest to analyse. I feel the platforms and structuring used does good for matching the Hollow Knight theme, but as a GD level, there's a lot of choices that don't sit well. A lot of my criticism is directed at moving objects. Moving platforms in the dream world and the Radiance's homing balls of light are really unforgiving when considering the level's difficulty, due to it being impossible to read. The Abyss and Lifeblood sections are the same for a different reason. The structuring here, as well as the foreground details in the Lifeblood part, makes the readability, while not as restrictive as other sections, still disruptive enough to mention. Overall, these structures make for messy, inconsistent gameplay, but it is important to note that they were made that way to reflect the Hollow Knight counterparts. Unfortunately, some of the gameplay features of Hollow Knight don't work well in the GD level when translated so perfectly, which brings me to my main criticism of Hallownest as an overall level. Whilst the art in this level was wonderfully and loyally recreated, Hallownest remains exactly that, a recreation, which I believe limits what creative ideas Mr. Finland could have potentially had. I feel like building a more traditional level using Hollow Knight as inspiration rather than a base would have allowed for more satisfying gameplay while staying true to the Hollow Knight art style. I feel there's a lot of missed potential, and a different layout of the level could have allowed for more environments and even abilities to be featured. With that being said, it's both hard and unfair to ignore the incredible effort and expertise used to recreate the Hollow Knight style this well. This is a level that took years to build and finish, and the end product is definitely one of the most interesting art levels that I have come across.